Hey guys, it's KC Jilly here. I thought I would do my home update. And instead of starting in the back, I'm actually got a few things up here in the front I thought I'd let you look at real quick before I get back there to the garden. So let's check it out. Number one, this doesn't really matter to all of you guys, but this little rosemary came off of my mama's bush. My mama died in 2020. And her bush was almost dead, and I stole a little cutting off of it. And I've made it come back to life, and I think I'm gonna be able to make more from it. So that's just for me to remember that somehow I was able to keep Mama's stuff alive. It makes me happy. Now let me show you something else. Last year, when Halloween was done, we threw our old pumpkins over here, and look what happened. And I just wanted to show you that I'm getting one. So I may accidentally, I don't know if it'll be ready by the end. I don't know much about pumpkins, but I mean, I may have my own homegrown pumpkins over here. I've got a couple of them. That's the biggest one, but we may accidentally, look, there's one down there. But we grew our own Halloween pumpkins if they make it. So that's kind of cool. And I hadn't showed the bananas in a while that I transferred over here. So I thought, why not show you? So they're healthy. They haven't got real big, but they survived my transplant and they're doing pretty good. This one's getting bigger. This one was swallowed by the cannas. Now, if you look over here in this corner, let me see if I can get a little bigger. See that canna up there? The entire area right here was full of cannas that tall. And so I got in there and I chopped all of them out except for a few shorties over here on this side and back there in the back, and allowed these banana trees to come up, and they're getting up there now. Hadn't showed my grapevine in a while either, but it's flourishing. I'm gonna have to cut it and move it somewhere next year because it's getting too big for this little area, but it made it. And now I can make my own grapevines out of this one, from this one as I go. That makes me happy. Now over on this side, all these are the volunteers from last year. This is the resting garden. And you can see this is a pink Berkeley tie-dye. I found a tomato in there. And it's flourishing and doing well. And it's gonna kick off with some good fall tomatoes for me. And I didn't do anything. Just stayed out of the way. Okay, get past this Jane Magnolia that's growing. Here's another tomato bush. And I'm not sure which one it is. Or that one. Or that one. All of these are volunteers. I have one more of those blueberry tomatoes. That's what they look like when they're done. They get red like a regular cherry tomato. And to be honest with you, I just need to cut that out of there. My little sycamore tree, doing okay. And there's another volunteer over there. But I'm full of tomatoes over here and I didn't grow anything. So let's go check out the peppers. Okay guys, so I'm over here in my little shady jungle. See, this guy's putting out a lot of shade and everything in here, more than I really want right now, but it is what it is. And this pecan tree is shading everything else. Okay, and over here I have passion vine that's been shading everything too on the other side. So it's just barely getting any sun in there, and I would just take this passion vine down, but my wife loves it. And it looks like this year, let me see, where is that thing? We're going to get some fruit. Yeah, so you see this guy? This little fruit. We've never tasted them. We're very curious about it. These little flowers have such a pleasant smell. It's almost like a snickerdoodle. It's a cinnamony kind of fragrant odor. But, I mean, you can see how big this thing is. And on the other side of that are all my peppers. Okay, so let's go look in there in the nice shady area at all these peppers. Okay, so right here, got my Carmen peppers coming. Picked a couple off of there. And you can see that plant's getting pretty tall. Over here, the lunchbox, I've got some flowers, so maybe they're fixing to come on because I haven't had any, not a single one off of here all summer. So I'm hoping they're fixing to kick off. I think it's just too darn shady, to be honest. And this, at first I thought this was more banana peppers. But you know what? It may be Hungarian wax or something. So what I've decided, because that ain't no banana pepper, I'm letting these get as big and all the way till they change colors on for me and see. But these leaves look different than that banana pepper right beside it, okay? I got lots of flowers though, and they've put on a bunch, okay? Now, this guy, I got a few little peppers. The one at the Secret Garden, it's made a lot more than this, but this one's been putting on too. I just cleaned it off about 2 days ago. And I think I'm just gonna jar up this stuff and kind of a ferment kind of thing and mix all my peppers, because I got a bunch. They're building up on me too fast. You can see the habanero. I got one there turning. I have several here. They're over there on that side. There's another one in there that's turning. You can see things are doing pretty good here for the habanero. There is a bell pepper plant over there. It doesn't have anything on it, so I'm not going to show you. And right there is a serrano bush, and it's got 1 or 2 little ones, but it's just not getting any sun because of my wife's beautiful vines. They're pretty, but they sure are hindering some things. Now, behind me, there's my little tiny jalapeno. It looks so little, doesn't it? That thing is maybe a foot tall. It's really short, but that thing is on its 3rd year. Look at how old that thing is. I've overwintered it twice already. We're going into time number 3, and I picked off a bunch of peppers off of it yesterday. It looks so small you can't see hardly how it could make anything, but it does. It just keeps pumping it out. And this is the mammoth jalapeno, and I picked a bunch off of it yesterday as well, but they're coming along. So the peppers are finally kicking off. Now I've got zucchini plant there, and one there. Okay. I got my strawberries. This is what made it after being transplanted. So now they can kind of cascade, if you can see the little bowl, the old broken basket. They'll cascade down into here and grow throughout with time. I got my black creme, my Cherokee purple, my green zebra, my pineapple, and way down there at the end, that's my mortgage lifter. I don't think they like our weather down here too much, but I'll be honest with you, this has been the coolest July that I can remember since I was a child. I don't know what's going on. I see everybody else getting the hot weather in strange places, and for once we're actually having some decent weather here. So I'll also say I put in some Turkish lettuce in here. I can't remember what it's called, Yetikul or something like that. I threw a couple of little seeds in here, and you can see some volunteers coming from the old dirt that was in there. I see them on the tomatoes, but so there'll be some lettuce popping up in front before too long. And it's cool enough and shady enough over here. I think it'll be okay. It's supposed to be able to do okay in hot weather. All right, so now we're gonna go that way. I showed you guys the update on my citrus trees, but I did plant something else. Check this out. Not Choco and Squirt back there, bless their heart. But, you know, this guy, I've got him potted, and it's transplanted well. Everything's cool. And this little one beside it, my mother-in-law grew her own lemons and gave me some seeds. So in that little guy, I'm gonna try to have a lemon tree to go with that orange tree. And the same thing happening right here. But things doing pretty darn good. And speaking of volunteers, this is where I throw out my bad tomatoes. And you can see, I have several in there. My grandson also likes to party in here, so anything that makes it there deserves it. All right, let's go that way. All right, looks like Mama's slacking because she's got some of her grazing okra going on over here. I can see we got a few on there. She needs to get them off, but the okra plants are doing pretty good. We've surely been plucking. You can hardly see them because of the cucumbers growing over everything now. And I went in here and I thinned all these dadgum cucumbers out because it's getting a lot of disease. It's been raining quite a bit, a lot more than we've ever seen probably in July in years. And you could see everything was getting to look like that. And so I cut a bunch of that out and thinned some stuff out. But I'm not seeing lots of cucumber. I see some little starch, you know, but I don't know if you can see. There it is. You know, I see a lot of those little guys coming, but it's slowing down a little bit over here now. You can see the shape this stuff's in. Look how disgusting it looks when it starts. Look at the texture on the leaves. That's just normal Texas. So, you see, I do have some ladybugs though, so that's a good sign. Maybe they'll help me with some of these critters. Okay, let's go look at something else. All right, I cut back my yellow pear. You can see it's back down to this height. I left one little guy on there to crawl back up this thing. It had crawled all the way up and met with this fella here. And it had reached up to the power line above it and gotten kind of stagnant. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna cut it back and let it start over now that we're in the midst of summer. Shouldn't be too much longer, and hopefully things will start cooling off a little bit. That's my hopes. Here's my Egyptian spinach. Good and green and pretty and tall. It's taller than me. It's probably about, I'm gonna say 6'3", 6'4". That's not bad. You can see though, it's very healthy. I haven't had to chop on it too much. There was a few limbs coming out here into my walkway, and I can't stand that. So same with this pomegranate tree. It's never gonna put anything on for me as long as I have to keep trimming it. So I'm gonna have to get that guy out. So right there you see the hairy bushiness of it. That's all coming out at some point before next year. Okay, and next to it, I got a little fig tree. I did see today, my partner showed me that I have some figs showing up at the secret garden on that tree that the bull knocked over. So I think that's awesome. And look, I don't know what's doing it. Something's been over here eating that dadgum cucumber. I'll have cucumbers coming up there, and you can see the China jades. My wife, it's the first time I ever seen her tired of cucumbers. These guys have made us so many. There's 3 or 4 in my house sitting on the counter right now. We've probably made 100 dang jars of pickles, all different kinds. You know, it's just, I thinned a bunch of this out too. I cut a bunch of these vine down. It's really having a hard time. And so you couldn't even walk or breathe in here anymore. It got so much, but that guy came down. And you see I got a cantaloupe coming there. Now before I get over in this section though, let's look at the greenhouse. All right, the Marconi, I just need to move that. That guy might as well go out there with them other peppers. Okay, that carrot's done enough now. I'm ready to cut it out. About time to take that dude out and get those seeds. Okay, and there's my eggplant. 2 of those guys. They're not just taking off or anything, but they don't look bad. Got a little basil hiding back there in the back. That's okay. And you can see this Thai basil, very healthy. I don't know what kind of flower this is. The only reason it's there is because my wife did that, and I don't want to hurt her flower. See, I got a couple more of these guys though. So if the eggplant ever kicks off and takes off and gets up there, I may actually taste my own eggplant. And these are what the red snappers. I guess there's my tag. I ordered those guys from Hoss Tools. I'm gonna give them a shot. I've just let them, they were really yellow and looked bad. They'd been out at the shop underneath that light, but it's time for them to go in the ground, and I wanted to give them a minute to adapt. So I put them over in a shady spot, and I have a drip line up above, and that guy, when it finishes spraying, it drips slowly down, and it actually lands right there in that. And so they look better than when I put them in here 2 days ago. So it won't be long, and they'll probably, I may put them down there, and over here on this other side, I'm gonna have, I can cut this guy down now and this guy. Only thing is, these are Better Boy, and the Better Boy was still making for me out there. Now you can see my basil's getting too big for its britches over here. Dadgum seed, but smells so good. Strawberries are okay. This watermelon has grown through my hardware cloth. Came in here and I was gonna cut it off, but I seen one somewhere. Pretty sure. Can't remember where. Oh, there it is. I seen one starting, and so I said, you know what? It's easier for me to see it in here and take care of it in here than it is out there. So until it smothers everything out, it'll be all right. I've got a Cherokee purple right here. What is that? This is a pineapple tomato here. So we're gonna see. This stuff, I think I can get some in before fall hits. I hope I can. And what is that? That's Celebrity. There's a black crim. The black crim do good for me here, especially in the fall. They do better in the fall than the spring. And I can't remember what kind of peppers I got here, but we'll see what happens with them. They look a little rough. You see, there's another eggplant, another pepper. I'm pretty sure all this stuff's gonna be like lunchbox and Carmen peppers. They're all sweet peppers, but we'll see what's up. And my little onions back there suffering through. They've been there for like 2 years, haven't done much, and I don't even mess with them, to be honest. So let's go check it out. Okay, so my asparagus is outgrowing its area. I had it kind of tied up, but it's falling over here, making a big dadgum mess. And I see back in there, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's seeding, so I'll have even more. And next year I get to finally start eating it. It's been in the ground long enough now. These old strawberries are doing okay. They don't do a whole lot back here, but they're here. And so they'll probably be moved, or I may just leave them alone, let nature do its thing. But I'm gonna give all this area, all this in here, to the asparagus, because it takes a lot of asparagus to feed my family. So also my olive tree, it's too shady over here for it, but it's healthy again. The leaves are green on it. I see some green in the limbs. That makes me happy. So I think it's gonna be okay. I'm letting it heal up. I'll figure out a spot for it eventually. In the meantime, I'm gonna leave it there and we'll just see how it does over here in the shade. Who knows? Okay, and this is Volunteer watermelon. I do have one over there. I don't know if you can see that little guy right there. I have one in there, so I'm gonna let it go. Let it do its thing. I'm not too worried about this space. I can't get a lot to grow in here. This section needs a lot of love. I need to amend my soil and just get some better stuff in here and build it up before I get serious about planting anything for next year. So over here I got the remainders of the summer tomatoes, but you see everything's so shady, which you'd think would help in our sun, but this year we haven't had the killer melting sun that we usually do. Now, if you will look, let me see if I can get down here so I can show you. There is shade cloth up above, and on the shade cloth, I've got vines like crazy. Now over here, that is the cucumbers, okay? And I've got 1 or 2 of them up there growing. But that going that way, that is my birdhouse gourds. I don't know if, I'm hoping it'll pick up in the camera just because of the shade cloth, but I could see right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We grew these birdhouse gourds as kind of a silly little thing. Our reasoning behind the birdhouse gourds is we want to make birdhouses with our grandbabies. And I have 9 of them. So I need 9 of them dudes. And then they got to set for like 2 years, or at least a good year anyway, to get dried out and everything. But that'd be a cool little project, and we grew it ourselves here, and we just thought that would be neat. Now I'm gonna show you the devil. Okay, the Mexican squash. It has invaded onto the summer tomatoes. It's going all the way down there. It's climbing up into, it's in this fig tree here. Okay, the fig tree is doing wonderful, by the way. It goes, you see it down here. I cut a bunch, so much of this off the other day. But look here, it's going on down. Like I say, you can see it's up into the fig tree. Continues on down. Okay, gets in this fig tree. Check this out. Grows up, gets into my next door neighbor's mesquite tree, and it's heading for Jesus. I think it's getting ready for the rapture. I'm not sure. Try and get as high as it can, okay? But it's not done yet, okay? This is actually one fig tree here, and it's spread out because of the weight of this thing, okay? But this guy's still going. Goes up and over. He's smothering out the trumpet vine, and the trumpet vine is what smothered out everything else in the past, okay? But just covers my whole gate right here. Goes over the top of it, Okay, and you see my shade cloth. It's coming right down here. You can see my little Mexican squash. I don't know if I'm waiting on one to get big enough where I can really show you well. But, I mean, that thing is going, look, above us. This is on top of the shade cloth, okay? It's holding my shade cloth down. Now it's wanting to go up on top of my house. And I'm gonna tell you that from here, all right, I'm right here. Let's see. There's the end, see it? From there, all the way through the gate to the end of that, back down there where I started. We're a good 35, almost 40 feet now, okay? So those dudes, if you're gonna grow those Calabacita Mexicana, then get ready. You better have a lot of room. I'll know better next time. It's kind of cool, but it really has swallowed all of my space over there, and so I can't really do a lot. Since I'm right here, you can see the trumpet vine isn't going to be outdone, so it's going to make sure it can reproduce. I'll have to cut all them pods and haul them off so I don't have a trumpet vine to death in here. And I have a silver Yamato cream melon. It's too shady, and that's not even the cloth. That's not even the shade cloth. That's because of this dadgum Mexican squash. So, the basil's all growed up here. I had a bunch of tomatoes in between all this stuff here in little lines, but at this point, it was time for them all to go, except for what you still see over here. They're healthy. I'm not getting a lot now, but I've gotten a couple. I may have one somewhere ready in here. Let's see. These are Amish paste. I thought I had one ready. Maybe Ace and my grandson might have grabbed it. He likes to help Pawpaw out, but they're not making a lot right now. There's a little one. But these are very healthy looking still. And so, as you can see, I have stopped tying stuff up like I ought to because I'm lazy and it's been a little bit hotter than I wanted to deal with. But things are green and pretty over here. Hey, there's something. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, they're not ready. But look at them clusters, you know. I got some paste tomatoes coming here, see. And over there, that sun gold goes up and over my neighbor's fence, and he gets some. You can get some from outside of the fence in my front yard area. And you can get them from back here, just whichever side you're on, help yourself. But that's what's going on in here. So let's go that way. Okay, this is my cantaloupe meets watermelon here, spreading out through there. You can see my peach trees have come back. That guy's coming back. It's time to leave the peaches alone. Next year I'm gonna get a bunch of peaches, and it's gonna come from me just leaving it alone. All right, but you see I got a couple watermelons in there. I can see now the cantaloupe is bobbing and weaving through here too, so I may have a cantaloupe hiding in there. Just step on my comfrey because it's something I can sacrifice. Get a look down in here, make sure there ain't something I haven't seen. Get pretty hairy back in here. Better not. Oh, there's a melon hiding down in there. But I don't see another cantaloupe right now, so I'm good there. You see, there's a Carmen pepper. It's about to get swallowed by this dadgum watermelon. Can you see him over there? Big old pepper. All right. I think there was a little melon started down here. I don't know if he made it or not. I may have cut it off the other day. I cut off everything that was outside of these boards. I had enough of it. I couldn't even walk out here anymore. See, and this looks like a lunchbox pepper, which is cool because I've been wanting some of those. Those guys are so good and sweet. Gosh, I like those peppers. All right, now this watermelon is heading that way, which is, guess what? The same way we're going. Oh, but look, I see a little one over there, see? Yeah, we're gonna go back here and take a peek. So this is the other side of the fence there. Just make sure I don't have any pickles. Nothing going on right now, cucumbers. Just some little stuff. It's all there coming. But, and you know, if you'll recall, here, I may put a tomato or two here, something different now. Okay, but if you'll recall, I had a bunch of zucchini and squash. This is the only one that's still making anymore, and I don't know looks a little puny itself. So that's all we got left here in this section. I'm counting on my next crop, which I planted over there in that shady area. So guys, that's my update for August the 1st here at my home garden. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll see y'all next time.